We are about to go live with the Medusas! Hello, friends, and welcome to D&D with High School Students presents the Medusas, live from the quarantine. We are playing over Zoom, and I will welcome my fellow players. Not my fellow players, because I'm not playing. But right below me, we have Jennie and Jordan. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
And then across the screen from them, we have DJ Virginia and Andria.
Hello.
Hi.
All right, good. So everybody's here, and I hope you fans are all doing well and doing your best to stay clean, healthy, and safe. How's it sound, Dave?
Good. Sounds good.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we left off episode 13. You guys had done some pet shopping. You had had a little chat with a priest of the Temple of Ayuk. And on your way back, you had encountered someone who looked particularly close to the person who had just passed away in a horrible explosion, which was St. John. And if you recall, this person, while having a shaved head and wearing long black flowing robes and cloak, was in fact in appearance more feminine. And when asked their name, they said, "Our name is St. John." And that is where we are going to pick up. So, you guys are in the inn with this person who has said that their name is St. John. Carry on.
Well, hey guys, and I motion to the people who have pets. We found this person, and we just thought that we might want to talk to you guys because they say that their name is St. John.
Well, is that like a common name in this area or for monks or anything like that?
Good question. In your lifetime, you've only known one St. John, and that was the person who exploded.
Well,
Well,
let's talk.
So I want to turn to them, just stroking the head. I'm like, so, I don't understand. Do you know another St. John, the male? We had known one. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
She
I would
looks
say-
she looks across at all of you. Actually, you know what? Go ahead and make an insight check. Those of you who are proficient in insight, go ahead and make an insight check.
I'm proficient.
I are dumb. Is it just gonna be Virginia?
Probably
I'm not-
Virginia.
oh wait,
Yeah.
insight?
Yeah.
Proficient.
Hold up, yeah, I have insight.
I'm not proficient in insight.
Oh, that's like seeing somebody's bullshit.
21.
Okay, so because this person has demonstrated consistently a very neutral expression and tone, when she looks out at you guys, there's not much of an expression, a facial expression, but you subtly notice, Jordan, almost like a sense of confusion on her face. Like she's like, "Yes, I know of the other St. John of which you speak."
How do you know this other St. John?
It is our name as well. We are known to one another.
Do you know of the others passing?
Yes. When one of us dies, we all feel the loss.
Who is we all?
We are connected.
How are you connected? By mind? By blood?
By a portion of our soul. You notice that she looks over at Amity.
Mm.
Hmm.
Huh.
Do you not know this?
Not until recently, I would say.
She nods. We are connected. Our name is Sinjin.
How come
So-
I'm connected in a different way?
You were not made by them as we were, but you serve them. Do you not?
Oh, okay.
Yes, I would say so.
You are linked to them, but you were not made by them. We are made by them.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Well, what is he talking about, Amity? Or what's she talking about?
I guess they're made in a different kind of purpose for worshiping. Like, they are made out of what that god represents. So Taik is like the void, so out of the void, they are made. And I'm just like a worshiper, you could say. I guess what they mean by that.
She, again, Areia, you notice again that she has a sense of confusion at Amity's statement. I will clarify so that you may understand. Taik has made an agreement with you, as others in the past, correct?
Yes.
You are given power through them. We have not made an agreement. We exist because Taik wills it to be. When one of us dies, that is taken from Taik and must return to Taik.
So what's your mission for Taik?
To help you.
Help me?
Yes. You serve Taik.
Yes.
We are here to help you. The
Alright.
other Sinjin has returned to Taik. Has he not?
Yes, I believe so, by your statements.
She looks around at all the rest of you. Did you not see the other Taik? Did you not see the other Sinjin return to Taik?
I mean, we saw him die, if
Yes.
that's what you mean.
Yes. He is not here anymore. So he has returned to Taik. And that is why I am here.
How come
No.
there's no information on Taik anywhere in the temples or by the priests?
Because they do not wish to see the truth. It would be the collapse of their power to acknowledge Taik.
Alright. Thank you.
It is why we do not maintain temples. Why there are no monasteries anymore.
So I'm still confused. When you say us, is it just you and the other Sinjin, or are there more of you?
There are as many of us as Taik wills.
But
There-
do you all
there have-
exist at the same time? Or
There
just
have
one at a time.
there have been others before. There was one who wandered these lands for quite a while, but then returned to Taik and was replaced by the Sinjin who you came to know. And just as that Sinjin now has returned to Taik, so must I serve.
If you're also Sinjin, does that mean that you share the same memories as him, or
Yes,
so you remember everything that happened between us and the Sinjin before?
I do not remember the passing to Taik. That is why I had to ask you. I remember being in a tunnel with you and leaving, and then there was brightness and flame. I remember the last thing that the previous Sinjin remembered, just as that Sinjin remembered the last thing that the Sinjin before that remembered, which had to do with being on a ship somewhere near Dariolar Shari.
If your memories are passed on, then how much do you remember?
I remember the beginning.
So what's your mission right now?
To help you. You seek something, do you not?
So you'll be our companion from now on? Is that what you're saying?
If you so desire.
Okay.
She like looks around at all of you and smiles, but it's like an awkward smile. It's like the smile of somebody who doesn't know how to smile. It's like,
I love that. I return that kind of smile. All right. Can she join up?
I mean, I suppose the last Sinjin seemed to be good-natured and nice. I just get a little confused with this balance of the gods, because it seems weird to me that like all the other gods don't really like Taik. They like try to not like. Areia had said, like, how do you feel? Because I know Areia had studied her god Ayuk for many years, but for her religious thing, like, what do you think of this, Areia?
I never studied Ayuk. Growing up in the mountains with my tribe, we just worshipped him and we worshipped the other gods, but we had no need to worship Taik because we did not consider that as a god that existed until I met Amity. So I know of my god and I know of the other elemental gods, but I know nothing of Taik, really.
it is common for Taik to be unknown. The other institutions do not wish for their power to be weakened by the knowledge of Taik. For Taik is in and of itself a paradox. The other gods do exist, but so does Taik.
On a higher level than the other ones, or equal?
They are equal. Ayuk. Usake. Deepa. Them. Taik.
This is pretty trippy. All right, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can go.
Oh, sorry. Okay. What would happen if you were to die? How else would we find you? Like your next body?
Taik will create a Sinjin, and a Sinjin will find you.
Oh. Okay.
Any more question?
Well then.
Hope you won't die. It'll be fine.
None of us die. We just return to Taik. She says this very plainly, with like absolutely no fear or concern or remorse. She says it like just rather factually.
How come you
Alright.
weren't with us from the start? Like, when we first formed the band, you weren't there to help us?
You moved.
Too fast for you?
We are not all powerful.
Mm.
We are made of flesh.
Well, I made a flash too, but I could still move well. So. And then I say to the team, alright, so what's our next move?
That's just what I was gonna ask. What do you guys think?
We had a plan in place, didn't we? We had plans of going to the lake or going east, right?
Yeah, that was also where we were told to go to recover our original stone.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I thought the original plan was that we were going to the lake on the way east, correct? Because
Yeah.
there's another stone there that we should think about
Yeah,
getting.
he had mentioned something like that.
Well, do you think Sinjin would be able to help us?
I think so. It'd be useful to have another teammate, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
We will do as you request.
Alright.
I have a question for you, Sinjin. You said that you're made of flesh. Does that mean that you... I mean, I can assume, based on what happened to the last Sinjin, that you follow, like, mortal rules in terms of damage to your body and what you need to live?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just making sure.
That's very good then. And I did want to mention another precedent to you all that in our following plans, I do think it would be best if we try to leave this area as soon as we can. Of course, not running out instantly, but it seems like there are still a lot of dangers here. We never quite even figured out the origins of the Red Star group. The one girl we had captured seemed to disappear after the explosion, and I just don't really feel safe here hanging around for much longer. I don't know about you guys.
That's fair. We could get a move
mean-
on right away if y'all want.
Yeah, I feel like we've scoured the temples and the libraries as much as we could, so.
And if there's anything else anyone can think of while we're in town in this area, we could always, if you need to check up on our feed, our supplies, make sure everything's together. But personally, I don't see anything wrong with heading out tomorrow morning.
No, I'm good to go. You
Any
guys?
questions?
Have you guys seen my bird? His name is Jeer.
Cheer? Does he speak? Or
He's
does he
a
sing?
bird, but I can also make him say bad words.
Oh. Nice. I also have a tarantula. I don't know what to name him yet. But I love him and he's great.
And I know we had agreed to one pet, but three's better than one. Plus, look how cute he
I
is.
think three's a crowd.
I just stare at Amity. We just like share a knowing look with each other.
Okay, but tarantulas are the coolest, so don't be dissing tarantulas. I think 3 is fine. We're good.
That's enough.
Right.
Right. So where to now?
Are we at the inn that we sleep in?
Yeah, you guys are at the inn. It's there's still shops open if there's anything in particular, like supply wise, for the road that you need to get. The other consideration is, what are you doing for your travel plan? Are you, some of you walking, some of you riding, or is everybody going to acquire horses?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably take Thunderdoom McTony.
Okay.
I know me and Areia have horses. How
Yeah,
did
we have horses.
Magnus? How did Magnus and Amity travel here?
I think
I
we
think we
had
have
horses.
horses.
Yeah, didn't you guys have horses too?
Yeah.
I thought we all had horses in the stables.
We're all good.
Okay. So, if there's anything else that you want to get, you could still go shopping before retiring for the evening.
Okay. Well, let's think about what we might need. I mean, I have lanterns and rope and stuff like that. Arrows. I have healing potion.
Yeah. We could make a stop to like an apothecary or some kind of thing like that. I'm not super familiar with a lot of potions besides a basic healing, but maybe there's something, because I have a couple, gold, platinum left, and if you guys, that might always be useful. Plus, I don't know if any of you had considered this, but I can't breathe underwater, so I'm not sure necessarily what our plan is at the lake. If the stone is somehow located in it, I mean, there's other things to think about. Like, obviously, it's guarded. You can't just walk into it like, oh yeah, let's just go take a dip in the sacred lake. But maybe, is there magic to make people breathe underwater? I'm not a magic person.
Any of you guys could make an Arcana check if you want to see what you know about that sort of thing.
No thanks.
That's a 12.
Nice
16.
intelligence check.
So,
Oh my god, that sucked.
Did anybody get over a 10?
I got a
Oh, yeah, I
12.
did. 16.
Okay, 12 is good enough. 16 is definitely good enough. Between the two of you, you know that there are spells that will allow people to breathe underwater, and you do believe that there are potions that can be made that allow water breathing as well.
Yeah, maybe the apothecary would be a good idea. Because I'm sure that there are some potions that might be able to help us out a little bit with this.
Or maybe something with Busake, since he's like the water element.
True.
So you know that there are several options in this regard. You passed by multiple temples to Vusake. Being that this is the capital city, Vusake is like the most highly esteemed of the elemental gods. That there are temples to her, and that they likely would have potions. You also know that there are other potion shops. So, what kind of angle are you going for? Temple or shops?
I'll leave that up to you guys, because I don't know much.
We can't really go back to the temples, so...
I mean, we could if you like keep your mouth shut.
That's
Oh.
hard. I don't think...
I don't trust Amity anywhere.
yeah.
Dangerous.
Be a fun
Someone
experience.
else could accompany Areia, maybe.
Or what if like we go in without him?
Leave him
What are
outside.
you gonna do? Tie him to the street post like a mutt?
I wouldn't like that.
I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a jerk, but I mean, like, I could go in, and like, who else could go in that would be not offensive?
I mean, if
Well,
we
I am
wanted
very
to,
unoffending.
That's a big reach for this party.
I mean, I don't know if we wanted to, like, all go to the shops and then if they don't have it at the shops, then we can go to the temple, or if we wanted to split up.
I like that idea, the first
Split
idea.
the party.
No.
I think we should go to the shops first, and then, like, if they don't have it, then go to the temples, because temples will be hard. Because Amity. Sorry, Amity.
Yeah,
okay.
is St. John gonna come? Would St. John?
St. John will go wherever Amity decides to go.
You got a buddy!
Rightfully So,
So
Not
you,
buddy, more like slave.
So
You
all
guys-
all of you have pets except for me now. Is that what the deal is?
just so I know who is going to the shops and who's staying at the inn.
I'm going.
I think we should
think
all go to
everyone
the shops.
Yeah, let's
Bullstrong, you
all
wanna go
go.
to the shops?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
all go.
So everybody goes. You guys kind of walk out. It's evening, still a little bit of sunlight out, and you quickly find a shop. It's not a problem finding an apothecary or a potion making shop in the capital city. And within a reasonable amount of time, you find a shop that indeed has potions of water breathing.
Sick.
All right.
How
Um,
much? Though?
50 gold each.
Hmm.
Do we have information on how long it lasts, or
Yeah.
what are
That's
the
the
details?
the shopkeeper. Yeah.
Yes. And the shopkeeper tells you to open up your player's handbook. No, sorry. The shopkeeper tells Jordan to open up the DM's guide and look up potion of water breathing.
Uno momento.
Is that not in the player's handbook?
I don't know. It's probably online. But I'm trapped behind a red curtain. Just so everybody at home knows, I have like literally 2 square feet of space around me in this very tight setup. So unfortunately, I can't get to.
Ralph was pulling.
Okay, it's
Karafa's over on the side drinking coffee and eating a donut and monitoring the stream.
it's for an hour.
An hour. Perfect. Yes. So the shopkeeper tells you very happily that it will last approximately 45 minutes to an hour.
Another question, you guys. When we go there, of course, I don't know what the plan is to figure out how to find a stone underwater. That's not my game. I'm not a planner. However, are we really trying to make everybody go underwater and spend like money for like 5 potions? Are we gonna do it to like 2 people? What are we trying to do?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. I think we shouldn't have everybody go down there because it might be a waste. But if we could get 1 or 2 of us to be able to go down there, however we do that, if we had 5 potions and 2 people, then that means we'd be able to stay under there for longer. You know, as opposed to 1 hour, somebody would be able to stay down there for like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think even if not all of us go down there, that we should get 5 just in case, you know?
Yeah.
50 gold's a lot of cash money, though. How much do you guys have?
Well, every platinum is 10 gold pieces, right?
Yes.
So if you have 5 platinum, that would also do it.
Ooh.
That's like all my money. So,
I have 81 gold. 81.
We could always check the other side for the better prices, maybe. Just a.
We could check the temples first just to check prices.
Yeah.
yeah, maybe they're generous and they'll hand out free water breathing potions.
Okay.
Or intimidating enough.
So
Yeah,
you
we'll
guys,
we'll come back.
you guys come back. All right. You tell the shopkeeper that you'll come back. You guys go back into the temple district, and you find one of the larger temples of Fusake. Upon entry, one of the priestesses greets you happily, and you inquire about potions. She says that they do in fact have potions of water breathing, used typically for blessings and rituals to Fusake, but they can sell them. It is considered a fundraiser for the temple. So, who wants to make a persuasion roll, and what do you say?
Not me.
Let's see.
I could.
I'm
I
I'm
would
in,
have
I'm
it-
inclined to let Amity make this check.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Huh,
That's
natural
not-
one. But I got 6 in total.
Amity's gonna say something so stupid. What happened the last time we let Amity talk to anybody?
Last time we let him talk to somebody, him and I got kicked out of a temple.
Not my fault,
Wait.
but yeah.
I'll try using my linguistic skills, and then we could see if Amity can manage to not start a fight in a holy
I
land
mean,
for like 5 minutes.
Okay. The priestess is not encouraged to sell a potion to Amity. She just seems very suspicious, but she's willing to sell you a potion for 45 gold.
Sure, so I'm just gonna go. I want to talk to her and say, blessings. I'm like, blessings, ma'am. Me and my friends here, we're going on a journey. It's somewhat spiritual. We've been having a lot of encounters with the gods and the elements, and one in particular we're planning to make an adventure to is the water and Vusek, and particularly the sacred lake. And part of this blessing is we want to be able to fully submerge ourselves and get a full amount of Vusek's blessing onto us. And I do.
She stops.
appreciate-
She cuts you off. She's like,
I could do that. I don't think we'll have
you're not talking about going for a swim in Mukadas Suv, are you? Because
No.
that would be sacrilegious.
No, nothing of the sort. We're not trying to go into the. We're not trying to go into the lake, but just to be able to spend more time in some of the water, just separate from the lake.
Uh-huh.
Let me-
She's gonna make a roll now.
Oh.
nice job, Capella.
Now you make a deception roll, Capella.
Deception. All right.
Lord.
DJ can check my rolls.
What did you roll?
She did not, in fact, make it.
Okay,
That was a 5. I
She's like, I strongly discourage you from whatever course of action you were thinking of taking regarding the sacred lake, because you realize that anyone other than a priestess of Vusek may not sanctify themselves in the sacred lake. To do so is punishable by death in the righteous domain of Kabul Kailish.
Well, of course we wouldn't do that. She meant that we were trying to get some for a priestess.
Now you make a deception roll.
You're all gonna get me banned from every temple in the whole district.
we're not temple people.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
It's a 7.
She's like, leave now, and pray to Vusek that you be forgiven for even thinking about such a sacrilegious thing. She turns away.
Oh no.
Wow.
I feel like literally all of you should stay out of the affairs of gods and temples from now on until you die.
I thought you were the religious one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
why didn't I do the talking? Why did all three of you step up and decide to speak?
Well, I was just trying to help her out, man. Like I was just trying. And I have I'm proficient in deception. So I was like, oh, I could maybe do this. I was wrong.
Well, I guess
Well, it was
we're
coming
going-
down to, at least I didn't threaten to burn down the temple like some horned people I know.
You did threaten to jump in the most sacred lake in the continent.
Yeah, Capella.
I think that maybe we should just go back to the shop.
Yeah, let's
'Cause
do
we
that.
still need those potions.
See, I should have did the talking. That's where we messed up.
Right, back to the shop.
I mean,
As you guys are
Oh,
walking
well,
back to
that-
the shop, St. John walks up to you, Amity, and she hands you something. Like she basically reaches into her robes and hands you something.
what is this?
It's a small vial with blue liquid in it that seems to be a little bit like pearlescent.
Is this edible?
She looks at you with a rather plain expression. She's like, "Did you not need this? I thought you needed this, so I
yes.
took it."
Oh, okay. Nice job.
Oh my god, you too, Sinjin?
She just, again, the way she speaks about it is just very matter of fact, like as if it was a rock on the ground and she just picked it up.
Does anybody else see this, or is it just?
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't hiding it, so you guys saw her hand Amity something.
Did you take that from the temple?
Yes.
Shh, let's wait till we're out of the temple district to start talking about stealing from the temple.
See, Magnus, that's how you steal. Learn from
She's
somebody.
like, I don't understand. What do you mean by stealing?
Well, you took something without permission.
Why must I have permission?
Because it's not yours.
It's not theirs either.
I mean, technically it is.
No.
Whose is it?
Well, what it is made out of is woven from the power of Taik. Who are they to take it?
Good job. Nice thinking. All right.
I mean, it's easier than holding your breath for that long, so I guess it's okay.
I can, she says.
How long can you hold your breath for?
A very long time.
Okay.
As long as I command him, it her.
We are trained monks. We have some ability to overcome the physical limitations of the flesh, to resist elements to a certain degree, to not require food, drink, or rest to a certain degree. These are some of the components of our training.
Alright.
Well, we still
should-
need more potions, don't we? We have one, and we have a monk that can hold her breath for a really long time, but I think we still need a couple more.
Yeah. We should probably go get like 4 from the shop, right?
Yeah.
How are we gonna afford like 4?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much gold do you guys have?
I have enough to get myself one.
Same.
Technically, I have enough to get 2, but then that would completely clean me out, so.
I can get one.
Could I whisper to Sinjin and be like, hey, could you think of stealing one more? To see.
She shrugs. As you wish.
Okay.
Oh no. Well, you could give it a go.
So where do you go? The shop?
Yeah, let's go to the shop.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk into the shop with St. John. The shopkeeper's like happy to see you return, and he's like, "So, have you decided to purchase some potions?"
Yes. We were looking at the 5 potions that we were
Excellent.
talking about before.
He's like, "Excellent. Well, if you're gonna buy all 5, I can let these go. Let's say I'll shave off a little bit. How about instead of 250, let's do 220."
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
So he goes behind the counter and he grabs 5 potions and sets them on the counter, and he's like, "So are you Paying in platinum or gold today?
I have gold. What about you guys?
I have 5 platinum.
That's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 50 gold.
That's
I'm
100.
gold.
That's 190. So he's counting up all your coins on the counter while he's waiting for the other 30 gold.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put. I have 30 gold.
Okay.
Okay, great. He takes all the coins. He sets the potions on the counter for you. St. John's just like looking at this transaction.
Okay. Are we
So
just
you
gonna
have
take 'em
you have
back?
5 potions of water breathing now.
Okay, cool. Are we leaving now? Or are
So
we done?
technically you have 6 because Amity had that one from the temple.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, we should go.
Okay. All right, you guys head back to the inn. You have some dinner. You clean up. You go to sleep. Yeah.
Sounds
I
good.
don't want to leave in. Sad.
Where do you have St. John? In whose room is St. John staying?
Well, we have Magnus and Capella and Amity in one room, and then Bullstrong and I are in the other room. So.
Okay.
should
Well,
St. John
St. John just lays down in a corner of Amity's room,
that's fine.
like
That
on
works.
a blanket, and she seems to be like completely fine.
Oh.
So, everybody make a single perception roll and tell me what your result is.
28.
12.
Perception.
15.
9.
Magnus, in the middle of the night, you kind of you're sleeping perfectly, but like you kind of hear ever so quietly, you hear a slight sound, and
Flip.
you open up your eye, and you see St. John standing up, not laying down, standing up with her back to you, like looking out the window. The wooden shutters are closed, but like St. John is standing up, like staring at the closed wooden shutters of the window.
I whisper, St. John, what are you doing?
Oh, I am simply watching.
What are you watching?
She moves the deadbolt and opens up the wooden shutters and like leans out and looks up.
What do you see?
I see Taik.
I go and wake up Amity.
Okay.
Wake up!
What
Amity.
is it?
Amity, a very strange thing has happened. You were sleeping just fine. And then suddenly Magnus wakes you up. And it's sort of like the dream that you had before. But when you wake up, Magnus is standing over you, and you see St. John at the window, looking out. And you notice that there's a warm, swirling kind of color spilling through the window.
Amity, what's she looking at?
Not this again.
Is this what happened to Vorsu?
Yeah, not exactly.
How do
yeah,
we
I
stop
guess.
it?
Can't really stop a god. So I guess we have to go to see what's happening with St. John. So I get up from my bed, like lazily, and I go to the window next to St. John.
Okay.
See.
You see the full cosmic light show, just like before. Except this time you're pretty sure you're not dreaming. Magnus, you don't see anything. It's just nighttime. And you're standing at the window looking out, and you see this whole cosmic light show. And St. John just looks over at you with like no expression, just, and then looks back up.
Okay, I want to tell St. John, like, see, St. John, that's what I kept seeing, but no one believed me. Like, what does it really mean? Is he...
Taik, she says, pointing up.
You see Taik?
Yes.
Well, what is Taik doing? Like, why the light show?
It is the fabric which keeps all of this together.
So it's only for believers who can see Taik's light show? Or...
They can't see Taik. They only know what they can sense with their flesh, which is why they only understand Ayuk and Deepa and Vusek and Vem.
So some flesh are more sensitive to Taik if they're from Taik?
We can see Taik because we were made by Taik, and you have an agreement with Taik. And others like you may see Taik, but most do not. Do you know of any others who have seen Taik other than us or you?
Possibly the grumpy hedgehog lady. I have to chat with her. I'll stay there, just watch light show. And, yeah, I might just go away.
Okay. You go across the hall, knock on the door. Oh no, wait, Capella's in your room.
Yeah.
You wake up Capella?
Yeah.
Okay, Capella. Everybody's awake. Amity kind of nudges you, and you see Magnus standing up. You see St. John over by the window, and Amity's like leaning over to you and is like, wake up.
Oh my god, it's this again. Again.
Not again. See, St. John clearly sees it right now.
Alright, so I just get up and I walk right over to the window and look out.
Make a perception check.
13.
You see it's nighttime. The moon is out, and you see just ever so slightly behind the moon, you see a little bit of color, like a little bit of green and blue.
Oh, it's the color thing again?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm turning to St. John, like, St. John, what is it with this color thing? I don't, like, is it his patron, or is it, like, what is it? And if so, why can I kind of see it? Nobody else can, besides him and the demon and I guess you?
You do not have an agreement with Taik, do you?
Not that I'm aware of.
What are you?
I am an ASMR, fallen ASMR.
That is why. Because you descend from those who come from Eos.
Don't quite understand it, but I'm gonna go with that. So why does he always see this every night? Like,
Because Taik has an agreement with him. She says this in like she's explaining 2 + 2 to you. She's like it's obvious. She's like, because he has an agreement, and we are created by Taik. She's like, the others, your other companions do not see Taik. But perhaps you can, because you are descendant from those who once dwelled in Eos.
and so I am not a big history person. Could I try to like do a check for EOS? Like try to. Does that sound familiar to me?
Yeah,
at all?
sure. You could. I'll tell you what. Roll a d20, and then add your highest proficiency bonus of whatever skill you have. Go ahead. Tell me when you roll a d20.
So I get to add 7 to this one. 18 plus 7.
That's awesome. You've never heard of this ever in the history of your life.
You know what? I assumed that.
You you notice that when you look back up at the moon, you could still see that greenish and bluish glimmer behind the moon.
So I understand that he is supposed to like serve Taik, and you also like serve Taik, and that's
She's like, I serve Taik because I was created by Taik.
makes sense.
He
I'm
has an agreement with Taik. I do not know if he serves Taik. That is between his agreement. I do not know the nature of his agreement.
I'm gonna turn to Amity and be like, so I understand that like warlocks they do an agreement with powers and entities, kind of like clerics and stuff, but different.
Yeah.
So, what is your agreement? What are you supposed to do?
I have to be honest, I am not sure
I
on
mean,
the specifics.
do you remember making it?
Yes, I have a sense in my like gut feeling that a long time ago I was so passionate and very angry, and I wanted to like leave my militia. So I probably, in my rage, made an agreement with some kind of powerful deity, but I wasn't too sure on who it was. And
So you made an agreement with something that you don't really know,
yes,
and now you have like, you see lights, like you see the entity or something.
yes, correct.
And how does this connect you to like, like, is this a tiefling thing, or is this just like a warlock thing?
I would say probably more on the side of warlock, because tieflings, sure, they can have like in Mantium on the east side. We mostly are based on mage work, and I would say we have a little click to it, but not all of us really go down that path.
And do you know what EOS is? Does that?
Could I roll?
I'll save you the roll. No, you have no idea what that is.
Oh, yeah.
You've never heard of it.
All right.
So Sinjin, what about you? What I, not to sound like that, but what is EOS? It's not familiar to either of us.
Yeah.
It is the place of the gods. It is where Taik wishes to return. But they are trapped here.
How are they trapped here?
Because without Taik, this wouldn't exist.
So if Taik leaves and goes back to EOS, will this like?
Taik cannot leave. Taik is trapped here.
Is his mission to leave?
Taik wishes to return to Eos, but cannot.
So it's impossible or possible?
We do not know.
So
Tricky.
I don't know how to say this. I also know that a lot of the other gods, they had taken some of their power and they have it here in the form of the stones, which I believe we talked about with the last Sinjin, that we're trying to find these.
Yes.
So does Taik, does he have a stone?
Yes.
But we have not heard it. We have only know of 4.
Where is Taik's?
Earth. Ayuk. Water. Vusake, Fire, Deepa, Wind, Them, Void, Taik. She again, she repeats that same sequence and does it in a way that's just like very matter of fact, as if she was explaining something very basic.
So where would Taik's be?
We do not know.
Nobody knows?
We do not know.
So who does know?
When the gods made their stones, they left them. They do not know.
Oh,
So how do we find it then? Nobody knows where it is.
Does it do something?
They all do things.
But does this one do something cool?
Do you not seek one?
well, we do, like the ones we're familiar with, we had the stone for, Deepa. Deepa is fire, and when we had the Deepa, and I think there's also partially Deepa stuff in that staff Amity has. And it
That is a
does
small
fire.
that is a small crystal. But you speak of the tier of Deepa.
Yes, we do speak of the tier. But what I'm saying is, since Taik is associated with void, what is there like a physical manifestation of void from his stone?
All of the elemental gods have left little pieces, like those crystals. A small crystal, for example, like that one in Amity's staff. But there are some that wield more power, for example, the tier of Deepa. You know this?
Yes. It's a lot to
Taik has not left any crystals here on New Wolf Oatmai. Ever. But one thing that is physical, the orb.
Oh. I suppose that makes more sense. So sorry for all the questions, but I don't understand why there's a lot of the other gods have like many. They have the little crystals, and they have the the tier is, I guess, the most like a special one of that. But out of these gods, but Taik only has one. Is there something like?
The
Is
black
there any
o-
connections?
The black orb is the only physical manifestation of Taik. Because it is the catalyst.
What is the catalyst?
It is the only thing that can be used.
Used for what exactly?
To bring the other 4 godstones together.
I'm sorry. I coming from a place where I've spent like almost the last couple months or so of my life looking for these stones. Nobody ever mentioned that they came together. And what do you do with them when they come together? What happens?
We do not know, for it has never happened.
You really like that line, don't you?
We suppose anything could happen. If you wielded the power of all 4 elements and you had the catalyst.
So I understand. I know vaguely from the people we talked to, the Fanoop. Do you know Fanoop? In any of your past memories, or?
Yes, There are many Finoops.
Oh.
Okay.
But I guess the one we had talked to, it said we're trying to find them to, I guess, withhold their power. But there's other people trying to find them too. I understand. Do you know of any other people trying to find them or have known?
There was a Sinjin who had seen a Finoop who sought the crystal eyes of Vusake.
Hmm.
Not this past Sinjin, but there was one before that.
Oh.
The one who died on the ship in Dariolar Shari. I remember it.
Makes sense.
His flesh sank to the bottom of the bay, but his soul was absorbed once again and returned to Taik.
All right.
That
does-
that Finoop wore the mask of an elf. Not like that one, and he points to you, Magnus. But a high elf, one who had long blonde hair.
Oh, that is the one we know. But I
Yes.
don't understand what you mean by mask. What does a Finoop mean? You say it. I thought it was like a name, the way he had introduced, like Lord Finoop. But you say it like it's a race or a type of person, an occupation. I'm not sure.
They are different from those with mortal flesh. Their soul is different. It comes from another place. And they appear to you as something. Each one of them are different. Some of them may appear like that one, and again, she points to Magnus. Some may appear like Amity, or humans.
So they kind of, I don't know, change shape? Is it like magical, or is
No,
it just?
they do not change shape. They appear this way. They have appeared this way since the beginning. It is how they came to be when New Wolf Oatmai was made.
It was made?
Yes.
Is that... Strange. So that's what you're saying is it's like a mask, so is it not like their true form? There's something else like
Perhaps this would help. Do you know how you can see some of Taik in the sky?
yes.
And yet I can see all of Taik, as can Amity?
Yes.
The first ones can see each other in their true form, but to you, they appear differently. So this blonde elf, who you say introduced himself as Lord Finoop,
Yes.
that is how he has appeared since the beginning of New Wolf Oatmai. He does not change shape, but he does not age.
This does make sense.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I'm still confused. So those who can see Taik, he looks like, just a blonde-haired elf. But what about like people like me that can't see Taik?
No,
No.
that one Capella speaks of this Lord Finoop, who appeared to be a blonde elf.
Mm-hmm.
That Lord Finoop is not Taik. Taik has no form or shape. Taik is there. She points up to the night sky. But this blonde elf who introduced himself as Lord Fynoop. I believe that he is one of the first people. And they are different from you because their true form is hidden under their flesh.
Okay.
You, Capella.
Skeleton?
You, Capella. You descend from those who come from Eos, Capella. You say you are Asamar.
Yes.
The Fynoop are similar to this.
They descend from Eos, or are they?
They descend from those who come from Eos. Just as you do, or Amity does. So perhaps this is why you can see some of Taik.
Hmm.
But the difference is that you are a child. The first people are thousands of years old.
You're not gonna fly up to Taik, are you?
I cannot fly.
I was about to say Magnus, because we had a
Just a friend if they can't fly away.
What happens? We had
yeah
this red demony thing.
Borsu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vorsu. We never really figured out what he was. He said he was some kind of like thing, and I forgot what he said.
What do you mean you had a Vorsu? You,
He
what
was
do you mean
also like-
had it?
It flew away to go. It saw the colors. It was very big, and it just flew right out the window and went up into the colors.
A Vorsu stayed with you?
Yeah, he was our buddy.
He was like from Deepa's mouth. That's where he said he was.
Yes. All Vorsu come from there. All Vorsu come from there, but they do not stay with people. They're the fire of Deepa incarnate. They only act as forces of entropy.
We kind of.
I do not understand. This does not compute.
I don't know.
She seems
think-
genuinely confused by your statement that you had a Vorsu.
He was our friend.
This does not make sense. Vorsu do not have friends. They
They do when you tie them up and force them to be your friend.
We didn't have him tied up for that long.
Got used to us as time progressed.
Initially, he started out kind of our.
Hostage.
Yeah, we sort of captured him, but then we were like, yo, wanna be buds? And he was like, yeah, sure. And
Seemed like a friendly pet.
Mm-hmm.
nah, he was our bud.
You say
thought-
this Vorsu you had. What happened to it? Did it die?
Well, it was this same kind of thing where Amity wakes up at ungodly hours of the night, wakes everybody else up, goes staring out the window about these colors, and
Tell him to,
uh,
Capella.
Vorsu was just enamored about it. And he could see it too, but he flew out the window and he just kept going. I don't know if he got up there. I don't know if he can get through space, but
All right, she's for the very first time, she actually has like an expression that is like you don't have to make an insight check. She's very clearly like not confused, but like maybe disturbed / scared.
Why are you scared?
Let me guess, you don't know?
Did you say that this Vorsu claimed to have seen Taik?
Yeah, He's a-
exactly how Amity had.
like
She-
literally.
She's like, that is not supposed to be possible.
I thought that
what a
was-
sweet call.
The
I thought that's what
Vorsu
happened.
the Vorsu are simple creatures. They cannot see Taik.
It had grown very big. It had started to develop a lot more. It had like mind reading and this telekinetic thing. It was kind of weird, but I don't know. I thought it was like a demon thing.
This is very strange.
It was
It happened in
strange.
this very room. Like, he looked out the window, saw the colors, and was like, I gotta go there, and then he flew away.
This is very strange indeed. I will meditate upon this.
Okay.
And with that, she literally walks back over to the corner and like sits down and like leans back and closes her eyes.
All right, I think that's a cue that we've asked plenty of questions for tonight. Now let's try to finish our rest and close the shutters. And I just slam them back shut and like actually stay asleep. Point at both of them.
Sorry. I was concerned.
Reasonably so. All right, so you guys go back to sleep. In the morning, you wake up. You feel refreshed. You've had your long rest despite the short interruption. And you guys are ready to close out your bill at the inn. The innkeeper is sad to see you go, but he is also happy to receive the 5 gold that someone pays him for the last week. As he stares intently at
I'll pay him.
the Goliath cleric.
I'll be like, hey guys, I feel like I got a really good night's sleep last night. Like, no fighting, no interruptions. So,
Yeah, aren't you lucky?
Agreed.
Wait, how much do we owe him?
5 gold for the whole week.
I'll give it to him.
That includes all of your meals, all your baths, the stables, all that stuff for both rooms.
Yeah, I got it covered.
Pretty good.
Good discount. And
You,
the window was broken.
Both
So
multiple.
you guys have gathered up your horses from the stables. DJ Thunder Tony is elated to see you.
Thunderdoom McTony.
Thunderdoom McTony is elated to see you. He is
Wonderful.
like stomping and ready to hit the road. You could tell that like the little ride that you took the other night with him like really got him like invigorated, and he is ready to go. So all of you guys get on your horses with all your stuff, and
All our
you-
new animals.
yeah, and your new animals. Yep, and you're pretty well set, and you begin heading east out of the capital city of Poitax Jahar. And your ride is pretty uneventful, actually. As you head east, you pass by a series of trading, caravans that are coming into the city because it's morning. So there's trading caravans. There's farmers with their wagons fully loaded with crops. Some pilgrims. You see some like religious pilgrims with different, deities, emblems displayed. And you guys ride for the first 4 hours pretty uneventfully until you're well outside of the capital.
Ooh.
And then you kind of get to a point where you're traveling and the roads kind of split off, and you're now on kind of a smaller traveling path as you're going out past kind of most of the smaller hamlets that encircle the large city. So you're kind of out more in the wilds now. You guys are traveling along, and you take a stop for a lunch break, and the horses get to drink some water from a little stream. And you notice that this whole trip so far, riding on the back of Amity's horse, St. John has been pretty quiet. Hasn't said very much.
Yeah.
What you think about St. John?
I am thinking about last night and the questions that I have been meditating upon.
Is it about Vorsu?
Yes, and many of the other things that were discussed.
What you thinking? Like, have we made any progress on it?
It does not make sense, still, that a beast of pure chaos and entropy, such as a Vorsu, would be able to see Taik or be capable of arcane magical abilities such as those that you mentioned.
Maybe he was different.
What if you feed him a lot of oil?
I do not know.
Because that's what we did.
Perhaps. Perhaps there is some relation between that and these seeming awakenings that you have described.
We should get another Vorsu and feed him oil.
In our experience, the Vorsu have only resulted in destruction, but
Ours as well.
No, he was great.
What
Remember
about
all the other ones that we just slaughtered?
Oh, yeah.
What about the bunk bed and the shutters and the walls and
But our Vorsu, he was great. He was our bud. Don't listen to them.
he kind of like broke everything.
I mean, we break stuff
Yeah.
all the time.
Oh, like big things?
We.
Everybody breaks stuff.
Aye.
as you guys are kind of packing up your lunch and, finishing up your discussion, Magnus, you hear a sound not too far off to the south, like maybe a couple 100 yards away. And it sounds like grunting, like a series of grunts. You're not sure if they're animal or humanoid.
I go check it out.
You stealth off in the direction in which you heard the sounds. You climb up a tree pretty efficiently. And you see movement coming through some of the underbrush. Like clearly multiple forms that seem to be small moving in your direction in a rather rapid fashion. And you catch glimpses of movement and like heads and mops of hair. But you're not quite sure what these things are.
How big are they?
Small, like maybe 4 feet tall. They move pretty rapidly in a running motion.
Do I have an idea what they could be?
Sure. You can make a history check.
20, not natural.
That's probably more than enough. In your experience, you know that sometimes in the wilds around Kabul Kailish, there are nomadic tribes that wander around and often raid or pillage. And these tribes of barbarians are dwarves with basically like caveman lifestyles. Like they use a lot of like stone tools and wood and basic stuff. And you know them to be called the Quoshin.
Ocean.
You feel like perhaps this might be a small pack of Quoshin.
Oh my god.
Can I follow them stealthily?
They're running towards you guys. And you
Oh.
figure you have about a minute to get back to the rest of the group before they're in your locale.
All right, I run back to the group and tell them what's going on.
Okay. Magnus runs through, and you guys have just finished packing up the horses. What do you say?
I say, I just saw some little dudes, like a lot of them, and from my knowledge, they look like Quoshin that are like pillager dwarves, and they could be dangerous, so we should probably be prepared.
Oh yeah, me and Areia, we had dealt with a couple pack of Quotient early in our travels. They are pretty dangerous though, but just get ready, guys.
So do you guys
Capella,
stay
get
and
on
wait
the
for them, or are you moving
We
somewhere?
charge.
Let's wait for them. Like, we don't want them to hurt, like, innocent people.
Well, we're out in the forest. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we could just get the jump on them unless you guys would rather, start attacking from distance.
Yeah, we wouldn't want our horses to die on us.
Well, I particularly prefer battling with my horse, but if you guys would like to dismount, that's your thing. I kind of have the training for it, but if you could stay on your horses or not.
So
Fine.
here's what I'm going to say. Each one of you can tell me what you're going to do before we roll initiative. Because of Magnus's warning, you have a moment to prepare. Whether you're going to stay on your horse or if you're going to be dismounting to prepare for combat.
I don't want my horse to get in trouble, so I'm gonna say no horse.
Yeah,
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Me
I can get
Areia?
a horse.
I'm gonna get off my horse and then cast spiritual weapon. Just prepare it.
Okay. You are ready. Capella, I know you're staying on your horse, but what weapon are you using?
Lance and shield.
Okay. All right. And then Andria, you notice that Sinjin doesn't seem to be like scared or nervous, but she looks at you and is like, what would you have me do?
Could you fight?
Of course. She hops off of your horse and like begins like stretching. You notice that she doesn't have any weapons. She's just like just starts stretching out.
I yelled to the rest of the group, like, hey, does anyone have like spare weapons for Sinjin?
I don't think Sinjin needs them. Remember last Sinjin?
We do not need weapons. We are a weapon. And with that, we will all roll initiative.
Yes.
Ooh, that sucks.
17.
All right, I am nominating Jennie to be the keeper of initiative. So, call off your initiative, top down. Anybody have over a 20? 19, 18, 17, 16.
I have 17.
16, 15, 14, 13,
15.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11,
I have 12.
10, 9.
9.
The quotient are at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Amity, what were you at?
I said 9.
9.
Yeah.
Sadly, Sinjin is at 4
Oh.
because I rolled poorly. All right. Okay, top of the order. Who's up first?
Me, because I got a 17.
Okay, so you see like this cluster of these filthy, mud-covered dwarves whose beards and hair are matted and like just dreaded. Not like stylistically dreaded like Areia's, but like dreaded because they're gross. They burst through the underbrush with these like a mix of like spears and axes, all of which are like kind of Stone Age technology. No armor. They just burst through the underbrush, and you see some of them are like shocked to see you guys, and then others are like pulling out their weapons. So you get to go first.
All right. I'm going to kick up my horse and I'm going to charge through. Like with the lance attack, my first attack is like the first closest one. That's an 18.
That's a hit.
D12. 8 plus 5. 13.
Oof. You skewer him, and he's caught off guard, but you like blow through his shoulder. He's not dead, but like he is severely wounded. All right, up next.
I have 2 attacks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So then the next one in line. 15.
That's also a hit.
All right. D12. 6 plus 5. That's 11.
Okay, you your lance tears into the second one, the one behind the first guy, and also carves a huge gash through him. And both of them are like bleeding heavily.
All right.
All right, who's next?
I believe it's me because I got 15.
Yep.
Right, I am going to pierce one with my rapier. Or I'm
Okay.
gonna try. That's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
Yeah, that was actually pretty decent. Okay. And then...
Now, don't forget you get to add your sneak attack damage.
Oh, sick. Okay, so rapier is
D8.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm dumb. How much extra damage is sneak attack? I should know this.
Yeah, what level are you?
I
We're
think it
six, right?
should be 3d6, but I
Yeah.
might be wrong.
It's 3d6. So it's 1d8 for your rapier, plus your damage bonus, and then 3d6 for your sneak attack.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry, I totally should have known that. Okay, that's... I'm at 9, 11, 12.
Well, so I'm assuming that you attacked one of the ones on the flank that Jennie didn't plow through with her lance, right?
Yeah.
So you effectively stab him in the side, and like gouts of blood just shoot out from between his ribs where you like poked him, and he's not dead, but he's also severely wounded. All right, Jennie, who's up in initiative next?
Next is Jordan.
Okay,
Okay, my spiritual weapon is gonna move to the other one that was injured.
across
Is it
across
yeah.
from you. So one of the ones that Jennie plowed through,
Yeah,
or
the
okay,
the other one that she didn't kill yet, and it's gonna attack that one. 17.
yep, hit.
That's 8 points of damage.
That is enough to drop him.
Okay, and then I'm gonna run up into the middle of the rest of them, and I'm gonna swing at one with my hammer.
Okay, a fresh one.
Yeah,
Okay,
that is a 9.
miss. All right, who's up next, Jennie?
Next up is Andria.
Okay,
Alright, I'm gonna do Eldritch Blast, but I'm like not too close to the
on
person.
one of the ones in the back that hasn't been hit yet.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Remember that
Okay.
you have 2 of them.
Yeah.
I have 2 of them. 25 for the first hit.
That's a hit.
And then D10, 9 damage,
Okay.
and the second one. 22
Hit.
and 1 force damage.
Okay, so you blast 2 Eldritch Blasts into this guy, and you ping, and he spins around. He's not dead, but he's severely blasted.
Alright.
All right, who's up next?
The Quotient.
Okay, first attack on Jennie. 12 is a miss. 19?
Yes.
Now,
That
do
is-
they have? But there's what's your Cavalier defense thing?
So my Cavalier thing.
Because they're small, so do they have disadvantage against you or something?
No, I get advantage on melee,
Okay,
but
but
if
they don't have a penalty for your defense.
No, but I can just like force an attack if they're trying to attack the mount to hit me instead. So
Okay, so they hit with a 19 to do 3 damage.
all right.
Okay, the third one swings around to attack Magnus, armor class 15. Hit.
Yeah, matches.
You will take 5.
Okay.
The last unwounded one goes to attack Areia, AC 12.
I have a 16.
Okay, miss. All right, who's up next? Bullstrong.
Yep.
Okay, so seeing all these little barbarians kind of challenging me as a barbarian, I'm gonna get very angry about all these little dudes.
Yeah, so just to be clear, from your background, your tribes, your mountain tribes hate the quotient
Great.
because they do frequently infringe on your land, and they're filthy and more primitive, even not just because they're barbarians, but they're primitive scum, and you despise them. So
Yes.
You are primitive scum, and I despise you. And
Yes.
then I'm gonna make an attack with the great axe.
okay,
Oh man.
Go on.
Oh no!
Okay, well I get to go again, and we're gonna try again.
So add your.
That one's better.
That's a 6 plus.
That's a 12.
12 misses.
Cool.
Okay,
All she wrote.
and then
Sin-
all right, so Sinjin jumps past Amity, like in a weird, like, it's like a speed walk almost. It's like a weird, like, speed walk up to one of the opponents. 16 hit.
It's Prancer size.
15 hit. And does 2 swift fist strikes against the first one that Jennie speared, and this one drops like dead. Like her second fist snaps its jaw back, and you hear like a crack of a bone, and the thing just drops like a bag of potatoes. Okay, top of the order.
All right. Let's just keep doing what you were doing. Also, to remember from my mounted combatant skill, I'm assuming they're smaller than my horses.
Yes.
Okay, so I get advantage on my attack.
Yeah.
That's 16 or not a natural 20. So.
Yeah. Hit.
12, 5 plus 5, 10, and second attack for the second one.
So the first one, as you're turning, you speared the one that Magnus stabbed, and now he's dead. And then you're coming back around on the second guy that you stabbed.
All right.
So roll for that attack.
13 or 16.
16's a hit.
All right. 6 plus 5. That is 11.
11 more damage. Dead.
Yes.
Okay, so that line, the center 2 plus the one that was on the side by Magnus are wiped out.
Good.
Okay, who's next?
All right, Jin's turn.
Yeah, I believe it is me.
So just tactically, because we don't have terrain and minis out, Virginia, you have the ability to move up to the one that Areia is fighting and flank him, which would give you advantage on your roll. Or you could go over to the one that Bullstrong's fighting.
I'll go with the first option.
Okay, so you move 20 feet over, you get to the one that Areia is fighting. You have advantage on the attack because you're flanking.
Okay. Right, I'm gonna try and pierce it with my rapier.
Okay,
Right, that is 21 to hit.
that's a hit.
Right.
So remember that you also get your sneak attack damage because you are flanking and you have advantage.
Right, loving that. Well, got a 1 on my D8, so not loving that, but oh well. That's 3, 4. Wow, I suck. 10. 10 damage.
Nice. That's
I'm
enough.
Okay.
All right, who's next, Jennie?
After Virginia is Jordan.
So Jordan, Magnus deftly ran over and poked the guy that you had already started on, and now he's dead. You do notice that Bullstrong is still fighting against a pesky little quotient who's moving around pretty quickly.
So how many are left? Just the one?
Yeah.
Okay, my spiritual weapon's gonna go over and smack him.
Okay.
That is 14.
14 is a hit.
Okay. It will do 12 damage.
That is... How much damage did you do, DJ?
He
Nothing.
missed. He
Oh,
missed
that's
both
right.
times.
All right. So the spiritual weapon hurts this thing, but doesn't kill him.
So then I'm gonna run up and smack it with my warhammer.
Okay.
Is it at advantage? Is he flanking?
Yes.
Okay. That is a not natural 20.
Okay. That's a hit.
That is 10 points of damage.
All right. It's dead.
It's dead.
However, Bullstrong, you see that it is still twitching.
Smash.
All right. You chop it, and now it's dead.
Okay. But specifically went for the decapitation to try to add to the skull collection, of course.
Okay. Since you have advantage because it's dead, you easily decapitate it.
Great.
All right. So there's not a whole lot in the way of possessions. They have some simple bone jewelry, like necklace of teeth and like other crude things. Like one of them has like a necklace made out of like people's ears,
Gross.
like they're dried up and leathery ears.
You-
The last time that we fought these guys, I took their bone jewelry. Can I take their bone jewelry again?
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna add to my collection of bone jewelry.
They
Oh my
they have a variety of basic bone jewelry. Like a couple of them have like, bracelets that have like that are made out of like shells, like seashells and like polished stones. But none of it's. You realize that like none of it's worth anything. Their weapons even are highly crude, like stone axes and spears. So.
Cool.
After this, you notice that Sinjin really has no expression, like, regarding this. She's like, do we continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
She gets back up on the horse with Amity. You guys collect the trinkets that you desire, and you move on. Your travel continues for several more hours. And it's late afternoon. You have a choice. You could try to push on to the small village of Totitagi, or you could make camp. You feel like if you push on, it might get into nightfall before you get to the village. And knowing that, particularly Capella and Areia, knowing that the villagers are a little more cautious in this because it's a small village, you're not sure how well you would be received if you arrived after nightfall. So it's your choice.
Probably would be better to just do a quick camp so that we can make our relations here as positive as possible. We are trying to desecrate a sacred lake.
Well,
Well,
and you also remember that, having passed through here before, you know that you probably could travel for a couple more hours and then make camp, which would get you closer so that in the morning you'd have only like a short, like hour-long journey to the village.
Mm-hmm.
that works. Does anybody have any objections?
No.
Okay. You guys proceed just for a little while longer, and as dusk is arriving, you find kind of like a nice spot in between a little hill and like a bamboo grove. You set up a camp, get a fire going. Does anyone want to hunt for like anything fresh, or are you guys gonna stick with road rations?
Is there any creeks nearby or
Yes.
water sources? Okay.
Yeah, there's actually quite a bit of you guys have done several creeks and like even small river crossings along the way. This is a very fertile land, actually. There's ponds, like just random little ponds and stuff. So
Yeah.
if it's fishing that you mean to do, there are several opportunities to do so.
I was thinking frog spearing.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna go hunt for some deer or something like big and meaty.
Okay. Make a survival check if you're hunting. If you're spear hunting for frogs, also make a survival check.
Okay.
Natural 20. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say that you don't find a deer, but you do find a big boar,
Oh my
and
god.
you skewer it.
Nice.
And using your decent strength, you bring it back, and you have a big fat boar.
Glad to have spent my natural 20 on something so vitally important.
I mean, it is a enormous slab of bacon. So you begin, you clean it up, you gut it, you clean it up, you put it on a relatively strong shaft of bamboo, and you start roasting it.
Nice.
How'd you do on your spearing
I got
roll?
a 21.
On
Wow.
net.
All right, so Bullstrong returns with a skewer of 8 frogs. Look at that, maxed out. A skewer of frogs. So you guys have this like buffet of fresh meat. And after a while, you're cooking your stuff. All of you can help yourselves to more than enough boar meat. Plenty of pork there. The frogs, not so much meat, but it's kind of like a little appetizer actually, because they
I
cook
got a
pretty
nice
quick.
a nice frog leg recipe, so they're dancing on the plate and stuff as they cook.
Yeah, you pick your teeth afterwards with their bones because they're like toothpicks. But
My hedgehog a little bit of frog to chew on.
yeah, okay. Anybody doing anything particular while you're chilling in camp?
Nope, just kind of bopping.
Okay.
Work on
Do you feed your spider?
Yes, I feed my spider.
Do you spend time with your spider?
Yes.
Okay. Make an animal handling check.
Animal handling.
Yep.
Okay.
Are we all gonna spend time with our animals?
If you say so.
I don't.
Yes, I am.
I go sit in the corner.
22.
22. Wow. Your spider is like literally eating out of your hand. You have some fresh bugs. You'll like throw a little cricket in there. The spider will go for it. You're really bonding with your spider, and it hasn't bitten you yet, which is good. Capella, what was your role for the hedgehog?
13.
Yeah, good enough. Hedgehog's happy.
Good.
What else is everyone else doing?
I rolled a 14 on taking care of my bird.
Okay, your bird actually likes hanging out with you, but not too close to the fire. So you kind of like, you back like 6 feet away from the fire, and you're just gently like talking to the bird, and it's eating seed out of your hand. Jordan, what is Areia doing during this time?
I'm gonna go over to Amity and be like, well, I'm gonna go do some prayers. I don't know if you want to join me or if you want to sit and watch them feed their pets, but I'm just gonna be off a little bit away doing prayer stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to St. John about meditating or connecting with my God to see if he can give me so many messages.
So she's like doing like basically St. John's like hanging out by the fire. She was eating some of the roasted boar meat with you guys. And at a certain point when everybody kind of went off to do their own thing, she just, you noticed that she just like laid back like anybody would at a camp out, like on her bedroll, and just like stared up at the stars.
So would I like tap her shoulder, like, hey,
Yes?
could you help me connect with Taik since you are the mate of Taik?
Of course. It should be soon. She points up.
What do you mean soon?
Well,
I
it's
want
not
to
quite.
meditate.
It's not quite late enough for Taik to reveal themselves, but it should be soon.
Is that the only way he could communicate with us?
It is how we communicate with Taik, but perhaps because of your agreement, there is another way for you to do so.
I believe I can do it through dreams, but it's hard when he is a boy god and he always hides.
Have
away.
you simply concentrated on Taik?
I tried before you arrived meditating, and it didn't help at all.
Try again.
But I'm not good at that stuff.
You think too much.
Yeah.
She lays back down and stares up at the sky.
He's useless. Fine, I'll do it myself. I'll go to sleep, and we'll see.
All right, you lay down, and you're trying to go to sleep, but your own anxiety about your personal failings. Oh no. Everything flipped, Carafa.
What?
Virginia's connection dropped out, and now everybody's box is moved. So, here's what happens, Amity, who's in Bullstrong's box. You can't go to sleep. You have insomnia. You stare up at the night sky, and after a while, you see colors start to shimmer. It's like you're watching the very beginning of the light show. You're watching it start. And this is something that you've never actually seen. But you actually get to see the night sky and the stars begin to fade away and the colors begin to form. And at first it's just a slow orb. And then gradually the light show becomes what you've seen in previous nights. And you see it. Now what?
I try to call out or invoke.
And what do you think of when you're trying?
The light show, but also what I think of him, like Black of the Wake kind of thing. Maybe memories of like when I talked to him and stuff.
Okay. Make a percentile roll. Yeah, that's the D10s.
D10s, okay. I got a 7.
A 0-7?
No, just a 7.
Oh, you rolled 1d10 and you got a 7.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You concentrate and try as you might. You just don't feel like you have established a connection with your patron. You see the colors in the sky, and St. John is laying down on the ground staring up at the sky right next to you, and yet it seems like you just don't feel a connection, really.
I turn to St. John, be like, see, I'm trying, but even if I think about him or stuff about him, it just is not enough for him, I guess. I don't know what to do.
It will come. You must be patient.
That's not in my blood.
She looks up and she's like, there. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Actually, make a perception check.
Okay.
We don't know if you do or not.
Yeah, okay. $13.
So you look up, and at first you don't see anything except for the swirling colors and like the flashes of light. But then you notice something like kind of way, way, way up in the sky. It's almost like a brief flicker that's different somehow. It's like a spot of darkness instead of a spot of light.
Okay.
But then you kind of lose sight of it.
Huh. I try to concentrate harder, but not like on.
Sinjin's like, Sinjin, like, she looks over at you. She stops looking up. She looks over at you. She's like, did you see that?
Yes.
What was that?
I'm not sure. Could it be him? Perhaps.
No. Like, did you see that thing? There was something up there, a shadow.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be him?
I do not know. I have never seen anything like that before.
Oh, interesting. Should we try to keep looking out for it until we could see it again, perhaps, if it comes out?
You look up for another half an hour and do not see anything like that at all.
Ah,
At this point, the rest of you have handled your animals very well. You put them to bed. You yourselves are feeling tired from a long day of travel and fighting barbarians. Do you all go to sleep?
We should take watch, right? That's
Yeah.
the idea. Or Sinjin, do Sinjin need to sleep?
Sinjin's like, I can stay up to take a watch if you so desire. I do not require much sleep. I do have to sleep because I am made of flesh, but I don't require that much.
Benji and I can take turns.
Okay, who's up first?
I'll go first.
Okay,
More.
make a d20 check.
D20. I got an 8.
Nothing happens. It goes very uneventfully. The nighttime is quiet. There's the sound of, crickets, flies, nocturnal birds, that kind of stuff, but it's pretty peaceful. And you have no problem seeing because you are an elf and you have dark vision. So, periodically you walk around, make sure there's nothing lurking around the perimeter of your camp, and after 4 hours you tap Sinjin on the shoulder. Sinjin wakes up very promptly. She looks up at you and she's like, is it my turn for watch?
Yes, if you'd like.
She stands up and stretches out, and then she's like, very well. She
Thank
begins
you.
like walking around in a circle. You go lay down on your bedroll, and within a few moments you're asleep. All of you make a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh no. I don't like this.
16.
9.
10.
24.
Good God. That's at disadvantage?
Oh wait, no. Oh, that's totally my bad. 22.
Oh, so much worse.
That's save.
I love it.
Okay, so here's what happens. You're all blissfully sleeping. Magnus,
Get a visual aid.
Yep.
you're in a dream, but you hear a sound, and the sound sounds like this. And you wake up. You see Sinjin, blood coming out of her mouth and a sword point coming out of her chest.
Oh my
There
god.
goes another one.
And she's like looking out at you guys, and from behind you see a hand come over her mouth, right, to like muffle her.
Oh,
You haven't moved. Your eyes open. You heard this. Your eye opened. You see this. The hand comes over her mouth to muffle her, and on the back of the hand, you notice a tattoo of a red star.
Oh my god!
And that's where we'll end this episode of D&D
Oh,
with
no.
high school
You
students.
can't do that.
No! I hate that!
Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our first live from the Quarantine Apocalypse episode. We hope you enjoyed. Thank you to all of my patrons for your enormous support. Tonight was fantastically important because it was our first test run of the new Live from the Quarantine streaming system. So we were still dealing with some technical difficulties. But I do want to say thank you to all the patrons and all the subscribers for tuning in tonight. And especially thank you for all of you guys who donated through the super chat. We will be investing in some improved microphones and possibly webcams for those who need them. And also, I do want to acknowledge the generosity of one of my patrons who I know for sure has ordered some headsets with microphones for the players. So thank you, Ann. And you guys did a fantastic job gaming, players, despite our technical difficulties and people jumping around in boxes. But thanks to all of you guys for tuning in, and we hopefully will be back with a regularly scheduled show next week. So all of you people at home, stay healthy, stay safe, be smart, have faith. Peace.